Hello everyone, welcome back to one more video session. Here I'm going to talk about the components of the axial skeletal system. How many bones are there in axial skeletal system? 80. Okay, we write 80. So total 80 bones. So let us see the structure and arrangement of these different types of 80 bones. Okay, so it's very easy. I'm going to give you the tricks to understand and remember this axial skeletal system concept. It's very simple, very easy. Okay, so just watch the video, have patience. So first let me write the axial skeletal system mainly composed of skull, correct? So the skull is there. How many bones are there in the skull? 29 bones. Yes, okay. The skull is again classified into four different parts. Okay, we can divide the parts into four. The first part is the brain box, which is also called as the cranium or cranium. Brain box. You could see this is actually the cranium. So this entire part portion is called as skull. So in this portion you see 29 bones, but particularly in this portion this is called as the cranium. In cranium you see 8 bones. Okay, so we just write 8 bones. Simple. Okay. Next one is this part. So this part is actually called as the facial part. So facial part is composed of 14 bones. There are 14 bones. Okay, I'll tell you the code to remember that. It's very easy. Okay, so we write that facial. So how many bones are there in facial? We have got 14 bones are there. Okay, the next one is, let me just write the bone that is gives support to the tongue, which is called as hyoid. There is only one hyoid bone. Obviously this fellow doesn't have any tongue. Obviously somewhere else here in the buccal cavity the hyoid bone is there. Got it? Okay, so fine. So the next one is the ear ossicles, the bones present within the ear called as the ear ossicles. So how many ear ossicles are there? 3 plus 3. In each ear 3 are there, that is malleus, incus and stapes. Stapes are the smallest bone in the human skeletal system. So total 3 plus 3, that is equal to 6. So if you count it, it gives you this value, that is 29. Okay, now we will discuss about the cranium. So how many bones are there in cranium? First function, the first is like, let us discuss about the function of it. So what is the function of this cranium? Which gives protection to the brain, correct? So if you look into this structure, it is made up of 8 bones. It is one bone, main bone is made up of 8 small bones. Okay, so now let us just write that. First one is called as the frontal. Okay, so second one is actually called as parietal, then occipital, then temporal. Okay, so then we write sphenoid, then we write ethmoid. Okay, so how many frontal bones are there? So there is only one frontal bone. How many parietal bones are there? That is 2. How many occipital bones are there? Only 1. Okay, so how many temporal bones are there? That is 2. Okay, how many sphenoid are there? Only 1. What about ethmoid? That is 1. So frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal, sphenoid, ethmoid. If you count it, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 bones. That is, the parietal, temporal occurs in pairs. Got it? In the skull. Okay, I'm going to explain about it. You can just watch it now. Now, how to remember these different bones, okay, in order? Just write down this. Facial carries 212 pods, see in caps, pods, and he is going to Spain and wearing ethnic attire. See this, very simple. You can imagine a boy called Faisal. He is carrying 212 pods to the Spain. Got it? He is going to Spain, and what is his attire? That is ethnic. Simple. So you can just imagine it, and it's very simple. So F is nothing but frontal bone. Okay, so we write frontal bone. Normally you see the frontal bone here. This is frontal bone. Okay, so just neglect this caries. Remember this 212. Why did I write the number here? Because very simple. Pod P starts with capital letter P here. That is actually called as the parietal bone. So how many parietal bones are there? 2 are there. It is in pairs. Okay, you have seen it. Occipital only 1. Temporal 2. 2, 1, 2. Got it? So Easy. Facial, how many facials are there? Obviously one. So frontal bone is always one. Okay. And he's going to Spain. You know, he's going to a country that is Spain. The Spain starts with S, that is nothing but called as sphenoid bone. So sphenoid bone. How many Spains are there? Obviously only one country, that is Spain, only one. So that is sphenoid is equal to 1. Okay. Ethnic attire. So obviously he has to wear only one attire. So that is ethnic. Starts with capital letter E, that is nothing but called as the ethmoid bone. How many ethmoid bones are there? 1. How many ethnic dress? Only 1. Done. So if you count it, you get the value, that is 212, that is spots, facial 1 and Spain 1, ethnic, that is ethmoid 1. Total, it makes 8 cranial bones. Easy. Okay. So now facial. Let us talk about facial now. It's very simple. Okay. So here you could see this structure, that is actually nothing but facial. How many facial bones are there? There are 14. Okay. Let me just write here the facial bones. Okay. So facial bones, there are 14. Now, how to remember the facial bones in order? It's very simple. Okay, we just write. Okay, so let me just make some space here. Okay, so facial bones, we know that there are 14 actually. Okay, so the first one, let me just write. Man omits in palace. See the code. Man omits in palace. You can imagine like that. A man is there and he omits in palace. Okay, and his name changed. His name is changed to Zygomax later. So you can imagine a man omits in palace and later his name is changed to Zygomax later. Okay, so this is very simple. Okay, so what is this M? The M is mandible. Okay, let me just use white chalk so I can highlight this. So M is the man, that is mandible. So what is mandible? See, this is mandible. Correct. How many mandibles are there? Only one mandible, right? Okay, you could see a huge, big mandible. Mandible can also be called as jaw bone. Okay, so let me write here, somewhere else here. Jaw bone. Okay, it's a jaw, mandible. Only one mandible. Vomits. Okay, so V is, let me just write here, the V is called as the omer. So what is the meaning of omer here? So here you see this is actually the nasal cavity. So here, how many nasal cavities are there? We have two, right? Correct. So that nasal cavity that is separated by a small bone here, you could see a vertical bone. That vertical bone is actually called as the omer. Got it? Okay. So here, let me just take this actually in. So what is the meaning of in or I? I is inferior nasal concave or concha. Inferior nasal concha. Where you see inferior nasal concha? Okay, I will show you later. Okay, so here exactly edges of the nasal cavity, you could see a pair of, that is exactly opposite. Okay, that is called as inferior nasal concave. A pair. There are two actually. So we have one mandible, we have only one omer, we have a pair of inferior nasal concave. Okay, then palace. What is this palace? Palace is actually starts with capital letter P, that is palatine. So palatine is here. Okay, so here I'll show you. Okay, so that is palatine. So let me write here. P is palatine. How many palatines are there? A pair again. So there are two palatine bones. Okay, which is present within the nose itself. Got it? Okay. And so now 2 plus 2, 4, 5, 6. Still 8 more remaining. Names. So what is the meaning of N? Like, the capital letter N here. That is nothing but nasal. A very important bone. There are a pair of nasal bones. So here, exactly here you see a pair of nasal bones. This one. Got it? So this is one nasal bone. This is other nasal bone. So this is nothing but called as nasal bones. A pair of nasal bones. So let me just write nasals 2. Okay. Next is Z. What is this? It is also called as the kind of like beauty bones, which gives a proper shape to the face. This one. So we have a pair of zygomatic bones. This one here and here. Got it? So that starts with Z. Let me write zygomatic bones. How many are there? A pair of zygomatic bones are there. Okay, so the next one is m is nothing but just above the mandible. So this one, how many are there? Two are there, a pair. So this is one maxilla, this is another maxilla, a pair of maxilla. Okay, so let me write maxilla. So zygo means zygomatic, max means maxilla, again a pair of maxilla are there. What about this L is very important part actually. So normally like the tears will be drained through that particular bone. There is a small hole in that bone and the name of the bone actually starts with L. That is what I have written later. That is called as lacrimal. I think you people have heard about lacrimal gland, correct? So lacrimal is the bone which actually drains the tear from the eyes. So ultimately the tear will enter into your nasal cavities. Got it? So that is lacrimal. How many lacrimals are there? Obviously, which is present in both the eyes. So one lacrimal here, the other lacrimal here. So pair, correct? So two lacrimals. Now you count it. Two lacrimal, two zygomatic, two maxilla, 6. Okay, nasals 8 now. Okay, so that is a mandible 1, 9, omites 1, 10, and inferior nasal concave, that is 2, palatine 2, total 14. So 14 bones which makes the facial. So we are done with the facials, correct? Okay, so next is hyoid bone, which is U-shaped structure. Just remember this, U-shaped, which looks like this, and to this bone the tongue is attached. So this is the yellow color structure is nothing but the tongue, and this is the hyoid bone. Just remember that one hyoid bone is present. Next one is the ear ossicles. Okay, so we know that the ear ossicles are of 3 types that play an important role in the transport of the vibration from external ear to the inner ear, that is the cochlea. Okay, so that is the first ear is called as, or first ear bone is called as the malleus. The second one is actually called as the incus. The last one is actually called as the stapes. Easy? Okay, malleus, incus, stapes are the 3 different bones present in the ear ossicle. So normally a pair will be there, obviously one in one ear. Okay, so we have a pair of ears, obviously malleus 2, incus 2, stapes 2, total 6. So now which makes this value, that is 29. Hope you got it. Okay, now I have to tell you one more thing. If you just see this portion, the lower portion of this skull. Okay, so this is not the original skull, but still you could see this portion here. The base of this skull has a small projected like structure here. Okay, so like this here, projected like structure. This projected like structure is actually called as condyles. Okay, how many are there? A pair of condyles are there. Okay, so 2 condyles are there. A projected like structure which arises at the base of this skull here. Okay, which actually articulates. What is the meaning of articulation? That is connection. Articulation is nothing but connection. Let me write that word also. Articulation. That is nothing but connection between 2 different structures. Okay, connections, articulation. So here the skull is articulated with the vertebral column. See, the VC is connected to skull, right? Correct? Okay. So the VC, the first vertebrae or vertebral column, is attached to the skull with the help of this structure which is called as condyle. Where exactly it is present? It is present at the base of the skull. Got it? So how many are there? 2 are there. So human skull is dicondylic. So human skull is dicondylic. Please note this point. You may get this question for your competitive part. Human skull is dicondylic because he has 2 or pair of condyles. Okay, which actually articulates the skull and vertebral column. Articulation of skull with the vertebral column is done by the condyles. We have 2 condyles, hence it is called as dicondyle. So that's all about the skull portion. It's very simple. I have to tell you one more thing that you could see a small hole here, right? So from this hole, the spinal cord, that is from the medulla oblongata, that is actually the lower part of the brain. So from there actually the spinal cord runs into the vertebral column, correct? So we have spinal cord that should arise from the base of the brain and it should run within the vertebral column. So this hole present in this particular brain, the base of the brain, is called as foramen of magnum. Please write down. The hole is called as foramen of magnum. It is also called as foramen magnum. Both are correct. So foramen of magnum or foramen magnum, both are correct. So that actually the hole for spinal cord to run within the vertebral column. So that's all about it. Hope you understood this. Now let me erase it and we just go to the second important component of the axial skeletal system, that is called as the vertebral column. So again I'm going to give you some codes, tricks, so that you can easily remember. Okay, so now we will write the second important component, and that is actually this one. This structure. So we are going to talk about this structure. What do you call for this structure? It is called as vertebral column. So this VC is actually, there are about a total of 26 vertebral columns present within the human vertebral or vertebrae. Okay, so 26 are there. If you count it, there are 26. But in children, the number is a bit high, that is 33. Okay, so 33 in children. Please note this point, very important. Could be asked in your competitive examination. Very simple. So I am going to write this. City life is super cool. It's very simple. You remember it. You can easily remember or recall the number of or types of vertebral column in order. City life is super cool. City life is super cool. Okay, even like just let me write here. So 7 just below C, and T contains 12 number. Okay, and L is having 5 numbers. Okay, S is 1, C is 1. You count it now. 19, 24, 25, 26. Let me just write what is the meaning of this city now. C. So I am taking this C now. Let me just write, that is our first part, or some pairs. 7 vertebrae are there actually, which is the first part of the vertebral column, which is called as cervical. So let me write cervical. If you count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 are actually makes cervical vertebral column. So how many are there total? 7 are there. Okay, very simple. Then T from city. T is now, let me just write thoracic. So thoracic vertebral column. So just below the 7th cervical vertebral column. So from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Till here we have thoracic vertebral column. So that is 12 are there. Total 12 vertebral column present within the thoracic region of the vertebral column. So that is 12. And next one is L. What is L here? That is the lumbar vertebral column. Okay, how many lumbar vertebral columns are there? So from here you can count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total 5 are there. So we have got 5 lumbar vertebral column. 5 are there. Okay. So next one, let me just write. I'll take up S. So that is S is nothing but sacral bones. Okay, I use yellow color. Sacral vertebral column. Okay, how many are there? In adults, only 1. But actually there are 5. When you were a child, you had 5 sacral bones, but now you are getting into adolescence and obviously they are fused now. Got it? They are fused. And you could see. So this is like fused. Got it? You could see like bit flat structure. Okay, just below the vertebral column. This structure is actually called as the sacral vertebral column. Fused. Got it? Okay, so now it is only 1. But if I just later I'll write it. Okay, so next one is the last bone, which is also called as the tailbone, that is called as coccygeal vertebral column. How many coccygeal vertebral column are there? So only 1. But in children there are 4. Got it? So you could see the coccygeal. Can you see that? A tiny bone is there, but actually if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 actually. But in adult it is fused to make only 1 bone. Okay, so this is actually the number of vertebral column present in adults. Okay, what about that is C. C means cool. Cool is nothing but coccygeal. Simple, right? So city, cervical. T from city, that is thoracic. L is lumbar, and S is sacral, and C is the coccygeal. Very simple. Okay, so in the case of children, okay, in a child, so how many cervical vertebral column are there? 7 are there. So thoracic 12. Okay, lumbar, that is 5. Sacral 5. Coccygeal, that is 4. If you just add it, you will get this value, that is 33. Total vertebral or bones present in the vertebral column is 33. In adults, if you count it, so 7, that is 19, 24, 25, 26. 26. This is actually the thing to remember. Now I'm going to give you the formula of the vertebral column. Very important, could be asked for your competitive examination for match the following also. Okay, so you have to identify that. Okay, so we just write that the formula of VC. Okay, so the formula is very simple. Let me write C first, then T I write, then L, city, life is super cool. Okay, in order. Then I just put how many bones are there in cervical vertebral column 7, here 12, here 5, here 1, here 1. This is for adults. Okay, so what about in a child? So again, city, life is super cool. Here let me retain the same number. Okay, this one is same, this one is now not 1, 5, in this case 4, so total 33. Done. So this is the formula of vertebral column in human adult, and this is in child. Okay, so very important, don't forget this. So we are done with the vertebral column. Next we will go to the third component, very important component of the axial system, that is actually called as the sternum and ribs. Okay, so let me erase it. So the third component, we just write third component, sternum. So what is exactly the meaning of sternum? Okay, so let me just show you the sternum. So this is sternum. See, this is sternum. Got it? Okay, let me draw that sternum. So it's bit wide in the anterior position, that is actually in the neck region, and it goes like this, but it becomes narrow. Okay, towards the posterior region. Okay, in this case, and it has got three parts. It could be asked. The first part is actually called as manubrium. Got it? Sternum has three parts, but it is only one. The bone is only one, but it has got three parts. The first part, which is bit bulgy, swollen part, that is called as manubrium, and this one, the main portion of the sternum, is called as the body. Okay, and the posterior end, which is bit pointed. Got it? So towards your stomach or intestine region. So this part is actually called as xiphoid. See, xiphoid. So three parts, which makes one sternum. Easy. Okay. Now let me just erase it. Please copy this. Very important. Now let us talk about ribs. Okay. So we just talk about ribs now. So please remember, this is actually called as the rib cage. So this is the ventral region of the human body. Correct? So ventral surface. So what about this surface? This is the dorsal surface. On the dorsal surface, what we have is VC, vertebral column is there. Okay, so now here on the ventral surface, what we have is the sternum. Sternum is nothing but a flat bone that is situated on the ventral surface. Okay, to the sternum and to the vertebral column, what is attached? This structure is attached. Bones are attached, and these bones are called as ribs. Okay, so let me just write the fourth important component of the axial skeletal system, that is called as ribs. Okay, so if you start counting the ribs, okay, you can count the ribs also here. So this is the first pair of ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, correct? So this is the 7. Okay, again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 ribs. Again, ribs can be classified into 3 types. I'll tell you. The first sub pair, that is from 1 to 7th pair of ribs, are directly attached. Correct? Can you see them? So they are directly attached to the sternum. Correct? So they are directly attached to the sternum. Okay, from the vertebral column you could see that. Okay, they are directly in connection with the sternum, and then hence they are called as true ribs. Okay, very important. What are true ribs and how many are there? So that is actually the first rib till the 7th rib, that is in pairs, are attached directly to the sternum from the vertebral column, and they are called as true ribs. They are true ribs. Okay, so the second type is actually called as the false ribs. Okay, let me write false ribs. What is the meaning of false ribs? Here, see here. So this is the end of the sternum, correct? So what is this? This is called as the xiphoid. This is the body. This is manubrium, correct? Okay. So here you could say 8th, 9th, 10th. Yes, 8th, 9th, 10th pair of ribs are not directly connected to the sternum. Instead, they are connected to the 7th pair of rib. That is connected to the 7th true rib. Yes, are you getting my point? Okay, so 8th, 9th and 10th pair of ribs are connected to 7th pair of true ribs. So to the 7th pair of true ribs, these 8th, 9th and 10th pair of ribs are attached. So there is no direct connection of these ribs with the sternum. There is no connection, got it? Okay, but it is connected to the sternum through the help of or with the help of 7th pair of rib. Please understand this. That is actually called as false rib. How they are connected to the 7th pair? With the help of a cartilage. That is 8th, 9th and 10th pair of ribs are attached to the 7th pair with the help of this cartilage. We need a glue, right? Gum is required, right? So that is hyaline cartilage. Note this point, very important. Where do you see hyaline cartilage other than ribs? You see them in the thoracic pipe, correct? So mainly like called as the windpipe, correct? Okay, so we just go with the next one, that is our third important structure in the rib. Okay, so let me just write, they are called as floating ribs. What is the meaning of floating ribs? See here, I'll show you. So this is the VC, right? And let me just put this and see. This is the 11th and 12th pair of rib, 11th, 12th on both sides, which is actually arising from the vertebral column. They are arising from vertebral column, but see, they are not even connected to even 7th pair or not even connected to the sternum. They are floating. See here, they are not even connection with any of the part of that is on the ventral surface. Okay, so they end here itself. Correct? The pair 11th and 12th one, they are called as floating one. So 11th and 12th. So there is no direct connection. Okay, so between the ribs and even sternum, there is no connection. They are just floating. Got it? They play an important role in the breathing. Got it? Because diaphragm is situated there. Okay, so it gives space to the diaphragm, so that the diaphragm can contract and relax. So that's the important function of floating rib. So that's all about the axial skeletal system. So we understood all 80 bones. Yes? Okay. So hope you understood everything. If you have any doubt, you can contact me without hesitation. Okay. So that's all about from this particular session. Hope you understood. Thank you.